Part of the great thing about building bridges with clients or subs are, it's like I'm always trying to test the waters to like, how can I find out if they're involved or get involved? And I remember I was interviewing a client, and my wife and I had just had my wife had just asked me which of her clients were more important than her, and I said no, and she said, well then why won't you take my cell phone calls? I thought, and I said, okay, you're right, I'm sorry. I always want to be, I'm busy, but hey, I have to take time for family and friends too. So I'm walking in to interview with this attorney, and this attorney, right as I walk in, who had made me wait for 45 minutes out in his lobby, but right as I walk into his office, my cell phone rang, and it was my wife, and we just had this conversation. I thought, one moment, and I stepped out and said, I'm walking into a meeting, honey, can I call you right back? And she said, sure. And I continued to walk in, and this attorney, though, said, did you just take a call from your wife? And I was like, yeah, I did. And I knew this attorney was a bruiser kind of a person and real aggressive. And I just said, hey, I will do a great job for you, but I just want you to know that my wife is always going to be very important to me, probably more important than you. And he really took that, as I kind of intended it to be a little aggressive with him. He kind of sat back in his chair, but I swear God made his phone ring right there. The phone rang, he looked. I knew it was his wife. I said, go ahead and take the call. And I stepped out, and I could hear him talking to his wife, and she was buying him a new camera and wanted to make sure she was getting the right lens that he really wanted. And he told her, and I walked back in. I go, it only took a moment. And so he hired us, and he continued to do kind of aggressive things, which were really kind of funny. And I always pushed back with him. It just was that unusual relationship. But you know what? It allowed me, the bridge that I built out of this really odd dynamic allowed me, later on, he approached me and my wife to help counsel him and his wife. And it was really wild. But it all started just because of that, that little bridge that we built out of a really odd circumstance. But it was really, I don't know, it was really great. I thought it was the Lord. It's like getting in these positions where you can be used are just very cool, whether it's with a client or with the staff. I always want to know what's going on with our staff. I always spend time talking with them, building building that connection, that bridge with them, so that, when things are tough, they will bring it with me. And I've had tough times. I've sat and prayed here in our office with employees where, children have been involved in substance abuse, or difficulties in marriages, or there's just people go through tough things, and it's very much a blessing to be able to have those opportunities to do that with them.